After years of shining on stage side by side, BLACKPINK has always been seen as a group of best friends who followed their dreams together. But lately, some fans can't help but feel that things have started to shift. With solo careers taking off and other responsibilities piling up, it's starting to look like their friendship may no longer be the priority it once was. One of the most common theories among netizens, even among longtime fans, is that BLACKPINK now gives off the energy of coworkers rather than close friends. They're still clearly respectful with each other and on good terms, but some fans say that the natural chemistry they once showed just isn't as obvious anymore. The idea that they've grown apart isn't new, but recently it's gained a lot more attention, especially when people started noticing how the girls interact during each other's solo releases. And Lisa in particular has been right at the center of that conversation. When Rosé came out with Rosie, Jennie immediately took to Instagram to show her support, doing way more than just reposting her album. She wrote a sweet message calling her Rosie Posey, talked about how proud she was, and said she couldn't wait to hear her beautiful voice. It felt personal, exciting, and super supportive. Around the same time, Rosé was also spotted dropping cute comments under Jennie's mantra teaser, showing love with emojis and hyping her up in front of fans. Jisoo gave the girls the same energy. Every time one of the girls drops something new, she's usually one of the first to like, comment, or post something about it. Fans have even claimed she's the most consistent one when it comes to publicly backing her girls, and she rarely misses a moment. Lisa, on the other hand, was attacked by tons of fans for being too quiet when it comes to publicly supporting the other members with their solo ventures back in 2024. Some fans argued that Lisa didn't really say or post much about any of the other members' solo activities. No Instagram story about Jennie's single, no comment under Rosé's announcement, no hype for Jisoo's solo debut either. While the other three girls were supporting each other left, right, and center, netizens accused Lisa of staying completely silent about it all. People started pointing out how this apparently wasn't just a one-time thing. Over the last few comebacks and projects, they claimed Lisa was the least supportive. It got to the point where fans were wondering if Lisa just didn't want to be involved in group-related stuff anymore. Others blamed her alleged lack of care on her new rumored relationship with Frédéric Arnault. Lisa was recently photographed vacationing in Sicily with Arnault, the CEO of luxury watch brand Tag Heuer and heir to the LVMH empire. The two were seen out in the open, enjoying a seaside date with no attempt to stay hidden, just casually spending time together. It wasn't the first time they'd been linked, as rumors have been going around since 2023. Some fans felt the change in her public behavior was noticeable after the dating rumors emerged, pointing out how different she seemed compared to the earlier years of BLACKPINK, when her bond with the members appeared to be much more important. Her growing involvement in elite social circles had some wondering if she was slowly pulling away from the group image and carving out a space that didn't include the others. Of course, there were also fans defending Lisa, arguing that she has not been unsupportive and that her dynamic with the fellow members is still the same. Some said maybe she was just too busy, or that she didn't really enjoy posting much. Others believed her social media might have been run by her PR team, so it wasn't fully in her own control. Moreover, netizens highlighted that she could have been showing support privately, which is something the public wouldn't necessarily see. That's why her post of October 11th, 2024 felt like a direct response to all the criticism. Lisa finally broke her silence by posting an Instagram story congratulating Jennie on her single mantra. The message was playful, full of emojis, and clearly supportive, a lighthearted but direct way of showing she was paying attention all along. During a live stream later that evening, Jennie even shared that Lisa had also reached out behind the scenes to compliment her choreography, and she was clearly over the moon. It wasn't just a cute comment, it felt like Lisa's way of quietly shutting down the claims that she didn't support her members. Over the past few years, it's not just Lisa who's been catching strays, because even Rosé has unexpectedly found herself in the middle of backlash. During a recent interview, she was asked to associate words with different letters of the alphabet. When the letter B came up, instead of saying BLACKPINK or even Blinks, Rosé casually responded with Bruno, referencing her collaboration with Bruno Mars. While this might seem like a harmless comment, the moment didn't sit right with a lot of fans. Considering she's been part of BLACKPINK for over a decade, many expected that her first thought would be her group or the fandom that supported her from the start. Instead, fans were taken aback, with some even calling it tone-deaf and ungrateful. A few netizens went as far as to say it felt like confirmation that BLACKPINK as a brand owes more to business deals, massive marketing pushes, and celebrity collaborations than to a strong, loyal fandom. That comment likely stung for a lot of Blinks, who have spent years defending the group through every hiatus, controversy, and comeback drought. Now, those same fans are probably questioning whether that energy was ever really appreciated. But at this point, it's not just about the solo careers or social media silence. Netizens like to overanalyze anything, including tension between the members during their promotions. One of the most talked about examples involved Rosé and Lisa, whose dynamic seemed noticeably off while they they were on tour 2 years ago. Instead of their usual energy and interaction on stage, fans saw the two keeping their distance, avoiding eye contact, and in some clips, straight up ignoring each other. Videos from the shows quickly made headlines online, showing Lisa and Rosé standing far apart during group moments where they normally would have been side by side. Of course, no one knows exactly what might have happened behind the scenes, but to many viewers, the body language spoke volumes. Netizens began speculating that the two had gotten into some kind of disagreement or fight during the tour, and that it was affecting their performance chemistry. Still, just because there have been awkward moments or distant interactions, that doesn't mean the group is automatically falling apart. Even close friends have off days, and the same goes for BLACKPINK. After all the rumors about Rosé and Lisa possibly fighting, some fans pointed out that the girls were later seen going out to breakfast together as a full group. At their next concert, they looked completely fine on stage, smiling, interacting normally, and doing what they've always done. The truth is, people argue even if they've been friends for years. It's not unusual for close friends, especially those working under pressure, traveling constantly, and performing in front of thousands, to have a disagreement or two. It doesn't mean their dynamic is ruined forever. Some fans have also pushed back on the non-stop overanalyzing, saying the real issue is how every tiny detail gets turned into a headline. Whether it's someone standing 2 feet apart instead of one, not holding hands on stage, or being a little quiet during a concert, people are quick to assume the worst. But while some fans are trying to keep things in perspective, others have taken the situation in a completely different direction, with full-blown theories about BLACKPINK secretly hating each other. One of the most common claims is that the reason they all signed with separate solo companies is because they wanted nothing more to do with one another, and that if it weren't for YG Entertainment stepping in, BLACKPINK would have already been over. Some fans even believe the members were forced to renew the group activities part of their contract, not because they wanted to stay together, but because YG allegedly threatened them with losing the rights to their group name, trademarks, and even their songs if they walked away completely. And then there's the theory that the members never really got along in the first place. According to these fans, BLACKPINK was always more of a business arrangement than a true friendship. The group was created to be a high-performing team made up of individuals who were more focused on their own success than any deep emotional connection. The fact that all four are now building their own management companies without overlapping in any real way is being used as proof that they've chosen to keep things strictly professional moving forward. But let's be honest, a lot of this is starting to feel a bit far-fetched. The idea that BLACKPINK secretly hates each other, that they're only performing together because of legal threats, or that they were never friends to begin with is a bit dramatic, and there's little to back it up. Most of these theories are built on things that aren't happening, like not posting together, not hanging out in public, or not being seen on each other's social media. But does that really prove anything? In reality, BLACKPINK's dynamic has always been a little more private than other K-pop groups. They've never been the type to constantly show off their closeness online, and expecting them to spend every free second together or document every interaction just isn't realistic. They're four adults with separate careers, lives, and circles, so that doesn't automatically mean there's tension behind the scenes. Their documentary showed a very different side of them, one where they clearly care about each other, lean on one another, and express gratitude for the group's journey. Not to mention, we've seen the members promote each other's solo work plenty of times, even if it's not always super public. A lot of the drama actually seems to come from solo stans who constantly pit the girls against each other and fuel this idea that there's jealousy or competition within the group. But that energy often comes more from the fandom than the members themselves. People forget that they're independent artists who don't need to perform closeness 24/7 to prove that they care about each other. Just because fans aren't seeing content of the girls together all the time doesn't mean it's not happening, and assuming they've fallen apart just because it's not public is a reach. What many people seem to forget is that BLACKPINK didn't just come together out of nowhere. These girls have known each other since their trainee days. They lived together, trained side by side, and spent years building a real connection. Their bond wasn't formed overnight, and it definitely isn't something social media posts can fully capture. In fact, Jisoo addressed the rumors directly during her appearance on My Alcohol Diary. When asked if the members ever had problems with each other, a question that's clearly been fueled by the non-stop speculation, she simply laughed it off. She explained that the girls actually joke about the rumors among themselves, saying things like, "They say that I'm your competition, so be careful." Instead of letting it affect them, they find humor in how fans twist the smallest things into drama. As Jisoo joked, they even tease each other with lines like, "Hey, why didn't you post it on Instagram? It made a rumor. You should have promoted my album." All with laughter and zero hard feelings. Even Lisa, who has caught her fair share of criticism, spoke up about her relationship with the members during an interview. She used the moment to reflect on how far they've come as a group since debuting together in 2016. Lisa made it clear that despite each member working on solo projects, the connection between them hasn't faded. She shared that they still talk regularly, support each other other's work and treat each other like family. Whether it's texting, FaceTiming, or cheering each other on behind the scenes, the bond is very much alive, just not always on display for everyone to analyze. Lisa also mentioned how proud she was of Jennie and Rosé's recent releases and explained that solo work was something they all had dreamed of doing for a long time. And now that they've grown, both as artists and individuals, there's simply more space for flexibility and independence. That doesn't mean they've drifted apart, it just means they're evolving.